If you're looking for a secure haven within the literary world, you found the perfect organization. Let's make magic together. Our space is specifically designed for African American authors who are passionate about their writings of films and books. It's a platform to stay informed about industry developments. And on Patreon, we'll share exclusive content, valuable resources, and engaging discussions and masterclasses on various subjects, ranging from film and publishing industry trends to wellness and business tips. So if you're ready to dive into this exciting community, become a member now. Welcome to our literary haven where creativity knows no bounds. Let's make magic together.
Welcome to today's conversation presented to you through In Her Self Expressions. My name is Valerie, and I will be your facilitator for today while we discuss broken but not defeated. Get your coffee, get your little wine, get your pen and paper, and be ready to take notes because we're going to dive right in. As I stated before, I've known the feeling of being broken. Searching for ways to improve my own relationships reminds me to remain humble because we never know what a person may be facing. And in my search to improve my relationships, I knew I wanted to share what I had learned. I definitely know how it feels to be broken and how hard it may be to recover. This is why I share such knowledge with you today. I want people to know that feeling like we have been broken does not have to defeat us. Have you experienced something that had you asking the question, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Here are some examples. A father is outside playing with his son, and in an instant, a stray bullet changes his life. His son, age 6, is gone. A mother driving home from the market is hit by a drunk driver, and now her children will grow up without a mother. The child next door is being abused, broken as a child. Single parent can't pay the rent and is evicted. My own personal why me story was that I was abused as a child. I was broken as a child. And I asked, why me? What did I do to deserve this? All of the scenarios that we mentioned could have a person feeling the pain, the deep pain of being broken. Is there any doubt? The question of why me emerges? Certainly not. How do we turn these life-changing events around? How do we not let it defeat us? As I share this information today, I'm looking back at situations that had me feeling completely destroyed. I was defeated at the time. And as I mentioned prior, I went through being abused as a child, starting at age 9, going through age 16. The magic number or so I thought, age 16. I began a relationship with a man that was 5 years older than myself. A year into the relationship, I knew it was not going in the direction of marriage and it never would, which is what I hoped for. I held on to what it was because I loved him. I would have died for him, and I didn't want to let him go. I stayed in that relationship, and 5 years later, I was so depressed over the relationship and over multiple other things that had transpired in my life. And I thought I was pregnant, which was even more depressing because I was in love with a person I knew could never truly love me back. And here I thought I was carrying his child. I reached my limit of what I could take. When I told him of the situations, the words "get an abortion" broke me. I am thankful to say that I was not with child, and I mustered up the courage to walk away. I was broken. I was bitter. I was confused. And I kept saying, there's got to be more to life than this. This heartache, this pain. There's got to be more. And I have to keep going. Walking away, it came with a price. As I said, I was done. I can't take anymore. I didn't know if I was strong enough to even pay that price. I managed to get by each night crying myself to sleep and going through the motions of being a functioning human being. I did it because it had to be done. There was nothing inside of me that felt joy at that time. I was broken. And remember, I'd already been broken as a child, and I thought this was a way to heal myself. It added more on top of what I already been through. I was so broken with that relationship to the point that I tried to take my own life. Yes, I attempted suicide at the age of 16. Again, it was not just this relationship. It was the abuse, the mental, the physical, the spiritual abuse toppled on with this relationship. And I had enough. And when I woke up with a new purpose. I wanted to find what was the meaning of life. I needed something to hold on to. And then I finally got the courage to leave. I chose me, and I walked away. I was hoping he loved me enough to come back. You know, if you let the bird fly away, it'll come back. That didn't happen. But that was what was best for me. But I didn't know it at the time because I still loved him. A couple years later, I'm still crying myself to sleep. The pain has eased up, but it is not gone. So I started dating again. I am happy to say that I have 4 exceptional children from that relationship. And if I had stayed in the previous one, I may not have had the opportunity to have the life that I'm living now, which is full of joy. But we'll get to that. Being broken can be as a result from any number of situations. It could be your first childhood crush. It could be you've lost your best friend. You had a fight with your brother. It could be a number of things that have us feeling like we are broken. How we recover, how we bounce back, and not let it destroy us is what really matters. I learned this the hard way. Knowing, understanding, and believing in self worth is a crucial factor in not letting situations destroy us, no matter what we're faced with. Now, I shared as a child that I was abused. I will also share that it was sexual abuse. I was completely broken from one relationship to another, one that should not have occurred, well, neither should have occurred, but what I had faced. I had no self worth. I didn't know who I was. I didn't even know what self worth meant. So let's share that. It's the sense of one's own value or worth as a person. How do we value ourselves? If we could put a monetary amount on it, what would it be? Not to say that we want to be a gold digger. Some of them may choose that. That's your own right. But what makes you feel loved and secure? That helps with the self worth. That's the sense of one's own value as a person. I do not use these examples lightly, as these situations happen on a daily basis. A father, how can we apply self worth to the problems, to the situations, not problems, we mentioned earlier? A father is outside playing with his son, and in an instant, a stray bullet changes his life. A father's love, son knew and felt the love of his father. He started a youth center dedicated to his son and now spends time helping troubled youth turn their lives around. This father took the pain of the loss of his child and channeled the energy to help others and cherishes the memory of his son, knowing his unconditional love. Father found value in himself by giving his love to other children in need. Self worth, the sense of one's own value or worth as a person, self esteem, self respect. A single parent can't pay the rent and is evicted. Value, worth, and self respect are tested. We must convince ourselves that even in this situation, we are valued and we do matter. Someone will help us through this situation and then humble ourselves to find the help that we need. How can we apply self worth to the situations we mentioned earlier? The child next door is being abused and broken. As I was coming from a background of child abuse, I had to learn, I had to know, and I had to understand the true meaning of forgiveness. It is not to let the other person off the hook. It is to release you, the one who's being abused, from the pain. Then we grow up and we fulfill our life's goals or our hopes and dreams. In this scenario, this child learns the true meaning of forgiveness, grows up, and today is a multi-billionaire because of the ordeal he faced as a child, living in poverty and being the brunt of his parents' anger. The man, showing unconditional forgiveness, made sure his mother obtained the medical care she needed when faced with cancer and grew to love and respect his father. The man who found his way by learning the art of self control is a third degree black belt champion who invested in real estate. The parents, they had their things they were dealing with. They took it out on the little boy. The little boy endured, not knowing from day to day if he would eat, found his way to his own company. He made his own money. He's no longer in poverty. He could have said, F you, mom and dad, for what y'all did to me, and let them suffer. He did not. He went on to show them unconditional love. In my own example that I shared of being 16, dating someone that was 21, I knew deep down that I was worth more, way more than he was willing to give. What do we all have in common with these scenarios? We made conscious decisions to believe in our self worth. How? When everything is going wrong? That's a very good question. How did we do this when faced with brokenness? In the midst of our tears, we said to ourselves in one form or another, you are valued. You do matter. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of love. Unconditional. As I cried myself to sleep, I would say to myself, someone will love me for who I am and the way that I want, need, and deserve to be loved. I would look in the mirror and tell myself, you are worthy of love and you will get through this. Now, when I first started looking in the mirror, I just said, you are worthy. That's all I could muster up until I could add love in there. Mirror work really does help, and I implore you to try it. Look yourself in the mirror and just say, I love you, or say, I am worthy. Whatever is needed to start the process of healing from brokenness. I wrote myself a note and I held on to the words of that letter for dear life, not realizing that I was helping myself to heal, and I still have that one. I wrote that poem as a child, and it's called Miracle Child. That has helped me to get through days where brokenness overtakes me. One day, the world over, your face will know. One day, you will glow. One day, you will shine as bright as the sun because you are a child of mine, the Most High, divine. That is the last part of my poem called Miracle Child. I did not know at the time that I wrote it, but that would help me to get to where I am today. I am shining, I am glowing, and I am definitely of the Most High. I am divine. I did not know it, but back then I was speaking life into myself. And as I continue, I say continue to speak life into myself, I learned the true power of meditation. The stories, the situations, the scenarios shared with you also spoke life into their dark places and practiced the power of meditation. The father who lost his son and instead of asking why me, started asking how can I make a difference in other children's lives. The child who was abused stopped asking why me and asked to understand the true meaning of forgiveness. I stopped asking why me and I started asking for unconditional love to know and to give. So to receive and to distribute. And I did this through meditation. I have to say that I was familiar with the word meditation, but I didn't know how to achieve it. What does it mean to meditate? Merriam-Webster Dictionary states it's to spend time in quiet thought for religious purposes or relaxation. My own thought on meditation is to focus the mind on one single thought and to remove all other thoughts. In other words, keep the mind from wandering. This concept, it did not come easy to me at first. Now here's the Wikipedia definition of meditation. Meditation is a practice where an individual trains the mind or induces a mode of consciousness either to realize some benefit or for the mind to acknowledge its content. Simple, straight to the point. Now, my mind can go at the speed of light, so it was hard to understand how to quiet it. And I will share how I accomplished quieting my mind. I love the sound of water in the form of rain, ocean waves, or nature. I started playing meditation music, of which I found on YouTube, the sounds of the ocean waves, and thinking about one word. I started with the word love. Each time my mind wandered, I pulled it back to this word until I could concentrate on only that word for 5 minutes. I added on to it unconditional love, and I repeated the process until I could do it for 5 minutes. I added on another word, deserve unconditional love. I repeated the process for another 5 minutes and until I was able to concentrate on the whole sentence. I deserve unconditional love. And now I can meditate on whatever I need to concentrate on while blocking all other thoughts out. It took practice and it takes time. It will not happen overnight. It is a commitment that we have to do on a daily basis to get to be able to meditate freely. I learned the proper way to meditate. I was able to keep my mind from wandering and finally understood how to quiet the mind to experience true meditation. This may be a struggle for others as it was for me. So trying this technique of focusing for 1 to 5 minutes several times a day will help to achieve the goal. We have to put in the work to get the results. It'll take practice to achieve. And I implore you, don't give up, as this will help us not to be defeated if faced with a situation that we feels breaks us. I also started looking myself in the mirror and saying out loud, you are worthy to be loved. You deserve unconditional love. I love you, Valerie. You can achieve your goals. Knowing and feeling self-worth is the objective. That is what it took for me. I know my self worth, I feel my self worth, and I love me. I started keeping a journal of my thoughts. For each negative thought I had, I wrote several positive messages to counteract the negative thought. Yes, I used to tell myself, you are so stupid. I changed that. I am an intelligent human being. I am a 4.0 grade student. Yes, the hell I am smart. And I did have a 4.0, a 3.7 to a 4.0 grade. You're a liar. I told the truth no matter what. I faced the consequences of lying. I owed it to myself to be truthful and thus fruitful. I stopped lying because as a child, I couldn't tell everybody I was being abused. I hid it, I lied, and lying became second nature to me. I wanted to break that habit because it's definitely not a good habit to have. I started telling myself, you're going to tell the truth no matter what. You're going to face the consequences head on. You are fat became, you are wonderfully shaped, and I love all of you. Every atom, every cell, everything flowing through your veins. You are conscious of what you eat. You eat to fuel the body, not to numb the pain. Journal. Journaling is a great tool. You keep a record and write down the thoughts throughout the day on any situation. See if they're positive or negative. Then write positive statements, mantras, or note cards to counteract any negative situations. Speak the positive declarations out loud several times a day about a situation and sense how good it makes you feel. Hold on to the good feeling and take note. The good feelings do not appear overnight. It takes time and practice. Practice speaking the positive outcome out loud while looking in the mirror and let it resonate into your soul. Enjoy the sense of peace it brings. Visualize the desired outcome with the situation. Visualize how the situation will not defeat us and how we can bounce back stronger than ever. What has been very valuable to me is learning to ask the right questions during meditation instead of asking, why me? What do I need to learn or understand about this situation? What do I need to develop in me?
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. 12 stars are leaping. 11 drummers drumming. 10 ladies dancing. It
Around. The questions above are examples and are certainly not all inclusive. They're a starting point because every situation is different. When the war of the mind, broken, but certainly not defeated. The father, the children of the mother, the abused child, and the single parent won the war of the mind by putting into practice the techniques shared here today, and so can all of us. The methods shared have been tried, tested, and proven to bring about positive changes to address being broken but not defeated. It has been my pleasure to share with you bits and pieces of my life of brokenness and how I turned that around. I want you to stay tuned and be on the lookout for the PowerPoint presentations below as I bring them to you at a future date. I am is the most powerful words in the universe. Activate your relationship. That one is juicy. Stuck to or sticking with in a relationship. That explores to help you find out if you're there for love or a lack of love. You are greatness. That speaks for itself and many, many more. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.